Yeah, I saw this sick She-Hulk dump deck on Untapped with some really promising data, and I was like, dude, I haven't played She-Hulk in forever. This looks like a fun one. I also really love Warlock. This guy just looks so sick, and haven't played enough with this card. So I thought I'd give this deck a try, see how it performed. And I went on an absolute blistering 9-1 run, up 27 cubes in 10 games with no bots. That is actually insane. This deck is so surprising and unpredictable for people because you set up these final turn dumps, as the name would imply, where they just have no idea what you're up to. Basically, the goal is play Sunspot early, play a Black Swan early, play a Warlock early, sometimes play a Mother Ascani early, skip that turn 5. That's going to discount your She-Hulk. That's going to buff your Sunspot. That's going to set your Warlock up for some greater discounts as well. Black Swan sets all these big 1-drops down to 0. And then you've got this final turn where you have potentially a Lady Bullseye that might have still 4 or 5 extra energy because you're not spending much. All your cards are 1 or 0, basically, maybe a couple points off Shadow Kings or something. But in essence, you know, this is worth maybe -8 or more afflictions to the power of afflictions to the opponent. Your She-Hulk is dumping 10. Titania, Hydra Bob, you know, these are all nice mid-size 5-4 power threats. And you just, like, out of nowhere, it's like, hey, here's 30-40 power on the final turn that's super unpredictable on where it's going to go. You also have plays like Shadow King that can do some really spicy stuff. Electra can actually create some surprisingly big swings as well. Grandmaster can play off of those even further. If you've managed to weave in Ascani, sometimes you got like 1-7 Titanias, or you can go Ascani Grandmaster and have some 0-9 Titanias, and just like the numbers go nuts, and the reactivity is actually really high because you're always dropping priority, making stuff like Shadow King a really interesting line. So this is one of those decks where I think it's kind of a high skill deck for sure, but it makes you feel really, really smart when things go well. You're going to see multiple instances in this video where I'm like, I'm a freaking genius, this is the greatest deck ever made, sort of thing, right? Because it can just do some really spicy stuff. So I liked this one a lot, way more than I expected. Was super fun playing She-Hulk again. Warlock actually felt pretty good this time, as opposed to sometimes he's got a weird interaction with She-Hulk where you can sort of over discount her, but I didn't notice that as much today. So all in all, I just had a grand old time with this deck, man, and a crazy run with it too. I don't know if that's going to translate to everybody, just because the play lines on this one, like I said, can be kind of complex. The math can actually sometimes be kind of tight too, but man, when it works, whoo, this deck is so fun and so satisfying, as you're about to see. Fuzzle. Oh my God, Cloning Vat Sunspot is actually so cracked. Oh, please don't be a robot, dude. Fuzzle's making me nervous. The name is, I don't know, not really robot-like, but also not robot-like, if that makes sense. By the way, guys, I'm having an insane run with this deck. I'm 8-1 so far, up 25 cubes, which is just about the craziest thing I've ever heard. I think you probably, do you go for 3 sunspots left? That seems so greedy. At the same time, I don't like totally hate it either, if I'm being real. Because next turn, oh, maybe you just do this instead now. Yeah, next turn you can go Warlock. Yeah, I think this is fine. I don't want to get too greedy, do I? Because this is already like another 10 points from turn 5. I don't know though, dude. Like, I don't hate this either. Next turn I play another Sunspot, right? And a Warlock, right? All right, we're greeding it. I got hand size things to consider as well here. Drax hates Sunspots. He's like, no. We're losing a draw basically, so I don't know if that's worth it or not, but I think it's fine. I think it's fine. I mean, you got Lady Bullseye, She-Hulk, Warlock stuff, which is pretty cool. Shadow King, really hard for us to work with, though. We could maybe force the Drax, like, mid, and then try to Shadow King it or whatever, right? Because you ain't Shadow Kinging left, you know that. Shadow King mid just got even better with that rock there. Okay. Electra also really good left if you need it, though. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you don't know for sure you're going to Shadow King this because you might just value that 3 energy across 4 sunspots way more, but it depends on Warlock. If Warlock catches Shadow King 3 times, obviously that's going to change your math too. Cosmo Right shuts down Electra Right. Good, we did not waste a lot of discounts on She-Hulk, which is good because she was going to get 5 anyway. That's perfect. Shadow King at 2 is a pretty interesting space. I mean, this feels like Titania Right for sure. Electra Mid looks really good because you kind of trust left anyway. And then you just go She-Hulk, Bullseye, Rock. Drax wants to move. Are they gonna Aurora me, by the way? There's a lot of ongoing end of turn. It does feel like maybe an Aurora hits. This probably doesn't beat Aurora. You're gaining 3, I think we said this is 15. You might have to go She-Hulk here to beat Aurora, and I think you probably can because I think you're gonna be safe anyway. You may not need to because of Lady Bullseye, right? I don't actually know that for sure. I think this always wins you right and left though. Aurora Venus is kind of terrifying though, to be honest. How many it's worth? Well, only 4 actually. Is really only 6. She-Hulk kind of honestly might be a little wasted weirdly. I'm gaining 9 left. That seems like enough. Yeah, I think this is fine. Lady Bullseye again makes the math kind of, I don't know for sure, but this just feels like a lot of points. Opponent has priority, so Titania trailing is okay. Hydra Bob, Aurora indeed, yeah, okay. I think we're okay. We may actually lose mid, but it doesn't matter. Well, if we hit Hydra Bob mid, I feel a lot better, honestly. I think the She-Hulk right was an important distinction. That just gave us a lot more clarity. You probably should go Electra Bullseye in other order, huh? Because I might have accidentally debuffed the card I destroyed. Yeah, dude, this math is crazy. 1 point win, but Drax is gonna, no, he doesn't move, he just scales. Yeah, the She-Hulk made such a big difference. Wow. I feel like such a genius playing this deck sometimes, man. I don't know. Every time I think I've made a little mistake. Like I said, I think Electra should just be first because I could have accidentally debuffed Hydra Bob. I didn't. It looked like I think I got lucky, but technically a little error there. Every time a little tiny mistake, but like, man, the lines are satisfying and you can do some really cool stuff. This deck is actually one of the most satisfying feeling decks I've played in a really long time. And I'm also 9-1 up 27 cubes, which is absolutely insane. Okay, we are chilling on this hand. No need to play this stuff. I think it's funny. These decks used to run Moon Girl, but it always did create like that problem a little bit where by the way, Electra has some upside here. It had that problem a little bit where, you know, you could get too big of a hand and you'd kind of feel this pressure to play stuff out. I really do think Mother Ascani is a beautiful middle ground there. Yeah, I think I'm gonna just do this weird Lady Bullseye play to maybe Grandmaster it later, right? I need to just start emptying the hand a little bit at least. Bro, they are going hard right now. Viv theoretically lets them out of that spot, but at the same time, I might just be able to chill there. Ah, that second limbo means even Reality Stone now is pretty weak. I just am not really in a hurry, but boy, do I wish I had a Sunspot down right now or any of my good cards. I literally think the 5 cards left in deck are the 5 most important cards for this deck. There's one Reality Stone. That's a really good Electra target. Hey, Sunspot's coming, but I missed a regular draw anyway here. It's also a fine Electra target. That's also a fine Electra target. Please, God, don't tell me you have like a freaking... Please, God, don't have a Killmonger to clear out all this space, right? They've left themselves like no space, basically, which hopefully means I can just steal Viv and steal right. Jubilee. This is a cool deck, dude. Like a draw Thanos. Kind of looks like that deck we were playing with the max draw for Jubilee. It's a really strong Jubilee, so pretty cool. The Limbo here too, hooking them up. I've missed the window on Warlock, dude. I've literally just missed everything here. This sucks. I want to be clear. This really sucks. I guess you go Grandmaster this turn since you're floating 4. Warlock sucks. This still floats enough to make She-Hulk kind of interesting too. I don't think we get there because we've just missed so freaking hard on this. Can I beat a Thanos? Let's see how this Bullseye rolls. Because, like, weirdly, Bullseye Shadow King, just not a great interaction, right? Man, if they have Purple Stone, that screws me. But maybe I just beat Purple Stone like this. Dude, Shadow King in this deck, by the way, is like crazy hard to play around. If I float 4, we go to 15, 19 to 18. They go for Purple Stone. Electric clears that. You're at 7 here. I mean, I guess this is worth more points than just... I mean, if they don't have, like, a blue Marvel, I think this wins because they're relying on Purple Stone, dude. Like... Oh! So smart, dude! Oh! God, I'm so smart! Oh! God, that's a good video game! Oh, I love it, dude! Just so calculated. Wow, we drew terribly. We had 1,000 times worse game than our opponent. We didn't hit any of our good cards, and we just concocted a perfect win, dude. That is such a sick way to win. Man, what a terrible game, though. Also, I'm finding this deck to be a little bit challenging to make work because Shadow King is so risky. Like, you have to make sure your Shadow King doesn't want to go where your Sunspot is. The early Lady Bullseye thing I did also doesn't really work with Shadow King either. You kind of want to make sure Lady Bullseye happens after Shadow King. You also have Shadow King Grandmaster lines, which are cool too. Like, there's actually a lot of nuance to playing this deck, but what a satisfying victory that was, man. Oh, terrible games going well is really, really cool. Okay, Ascani Rocket is probably not the dream, but I would say not a disaster either. I could see that being fine. I don't know what the dream actually is. Maybe She-Hulk is the dream? Because she goes down to like 5. Oh, Hope Summers is in hand now. We also now have Grandmaster as the Mother Ascani move. You could do Ascani Grandmaster, but then you're hitting Shadow King, which is kind of weird too. Hope's going left, which is fine. I don't really care. Ooh. You also really want to play Black Swan. I guess next turn you can do quite a bit here. Do you go Grandmaster Ascani? If you do you play the Shadow King first? Well, no, Warlock's not a particularly good target either. Boy, it sure is looking like Shadow King's gonna be valuable. I wish I had priority this turn. You could turn off that stick by using Electra. Like, Shadow King even affects itself is the crazy thing. So, like, the buff doesn't really help you, right? But the annoying part is that both Warlock and Black Swan here are just turned off effectively. I think you just pass here, man. It's not my favorite thing ever. Oh my god, dude. Okay, well, I wasn't expecting that, I'll be real. I don't think we're that bad against that, though, maybe. I can actually... Oh, I can dump a ton of power, actually. Oh my god, dude. This is pretty good, I think, right? Like, they're not expecting this much power here. What do they have? Rocket is pretty good. Yeah, that's my Rocket, of course. But that's Shadow King is fine for that. Prodigy, Grandmaster, that's easy, dog. Easy. Let's go, dude. We have so many points. Yeah, this worked out great. This was fantastic. We might have even won without Shadow King. I don't know. I think they had 9 with Shadow King, right? Wasn't this at like 11? And then this was at 5. So I think they had +9. Nice, dude. That's a steal. I like that game. That's really fun. Boy, Sunspot Warlock's pretty great to get down early, I guess. Yeah, they can go together maybe. Priority is something we definitely like managing, so not overcommitting to locations is cool. Black Panther already. Okay, Shadow King, please. Need to find a Shadow King. Black Panthers are so scary. No really other way to stop it either, honestly. Lady Bullseye, I guess, technically, right? Yeah, this could probably go here. I think Sunspot gives you enough points usually that you're chill. Icebox denied. Bro, so this is gonna be like Phoenix Force. Okay. Do they also have Arnim Zola in the Phoenix Force deck? I don't know. I can't remember. Oh my god, what a terrible, terrible location roll. Jeez. I mean, Sunspot's not bad in negative zone, but the other two. Oh, yes. Okay. So this one might be a little bit about calling a shot or something here too, though. Like, I would probably play Phoenix Force right, but it can move. It can move. Phoenix Force. No. Okay. That now we don't have to call the shot. Okay. So this is going to be like Phoenix Force mid. The problem I have. I think I got to be able to Shadow King twice, but can I win mid and left if I do that? Because if you Shadow King a copied Black Panther that already has Phoenix Force and Symbiote Spider-Man and Black Panther stats in it, well, I guess the Black Panther stats won't help, though. It would just be 12 Symbiote Spider-Man and Phoenix Force. You'd also debuff that Carnage. This might work, man. This might work. You got like She-Hulk to fill in. You got Rocket mid or something, right? Adamantium Infusion instead. Oh boy, so they're gonna have priority there. That actually is also fine because I can just Shadow King. If they aren't able to this, I just Shadow King both sides. Like, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. So if they go for Arnim Zola right, as I expect, they will have 5 and 2 here is 7. So we need one more body here. Well, not even necessarily true because of Lady Bullseye, I guess. They would have 12 mid. This would actually weirdly want to go right, but you don't need it to. So I guess you just play it mid in case they do something here weird. I mean, this just you gotta leave a space for Shadow King. He goes off before Rocket. Like, this seems fine, right? Am I crazy to think this works, man? Like we said, they have 7 here. You're at 9 plus with Lady Bullseye. He just beats Arnim Zola, man. Like, oh my god, this feels good, dude. This deck has some very satisfying moments, man. So they didn't even go for the Symbiote Spider-Man, which would have made the Panther even bigger. Not that we care, it's fine. Oh my god, I didn't account. Oh my god, I'm so stupid. It's fine. I didn't account for Shadow King stats moving. Oh my god, dude. I didn't account for Shadow King. I needed to put Hydra Bob left, not mid. Oh my god. I didn't account for... I was counting him as part of the 7, you idiot. Oh my god. Genius plays, but also idiot plays. That is the story of my life, right? Good. Seeing the lines, but not executing them correctly is the story of my life. But actually, this also was solved, so it actually doesn't matter at all. You might make the argument here that this was condensing your power in 2 spots more safely. I'm not going to make that argument, though. I just didn't think about it. Lady Bullseye, as you can see, equalized it all anyway. She wasn't guaranteed to, though. You could have lost left like this. Maybe this was a better play if they didn't have exactly the Arnim Zola line we were talking about, but I don't think that worked any other scenario because it's all about Shadow King there. Okay, Warlock early is nice. I've been missing on my... preload cards. Really, the dream, I guess, is like Sunspot, Black Swan, Warlock, Ascani, right? That's like your dream opener, and then you just go crazy on the final turn, but obviously the odds of hitting that are pretty slim. Mantis, Hydra Bob. I mean, am I nuts to think that I can do this? I think I'm gonna do this. Try to beat this Quicksilver Galactus line here. Mantis, I don't know if I really need the card. It could... could just kind of occupy space in hand and be dead, I guess, right? But it's fine. I wasn't thinking 10 rings specifically, but yeah, that's a pretty common build right now, actually. I think Sunspot right is just fine. Yeah, we are actually running out of space here a little bit, but it's okay. Sunspot right still feels good-ish to me. Did they miss turn 3? Kind of zoned out there for a second. I think they just missed turn 3, huh? Superior Spider-Man. They do have a green card, of course. That's a little bit of ramp there. This is a float turn and just pop off next turn, yeah. You definitely could go Lady Bullseye here, by the way. Because the way Warlock She-Hulk stacking works in particular, I feel like he always just wastes half your energy. You already know that you have 2 0 cost, 1 cost. So what I'm saying is, like, even if She-Hulk did still cost the full 3 here, you can still put together a pretty nice turn. She-Hulk root 2 1-drops, right? And your Bullseye next turn could be bigger in theory, because you could just be playing Bullseye is the only thing you'd play at cost. I guess I kind of like, I don't know. I think this is debatable, but with Sunspot in particular, I mean, I guess the idea is to hold the Bullseye, but I don't know. Part of me wants to like play it out early, but I think this is okay actually. It's still gonna be a really good Lady Bullseye. Shadow King first too is cool, but probably, I don't know. I don't know if that's worth the energy here. I think you just go like this actually. It's a lot of points left. Is it too many? I mean, the thing is, maybe you can put the Bullseye there actually and do everybody else mid. I don't know. You want to float some too, which I guess we are, yeah. Oh no, I just decided to put Bullseye left. Do you trust Bullseye left? I mean, you just don't know, right? You don't know where the... You're technically getting 4 here and then maybe more from Bullseye, right? Because it's pretty good chance he hits targets over there. Dude, Titania does not go... Oh my god, what am I doing, dude? Titania last. Oh my god. If they don't play mid here, I guess you're screwed, but that seems unlikely to me. I don't know. They don't have to play mid, though, either, for the record. They could just avoid mid, because they're... But yeah, 12 left is also not nothing, and Bullseye also might net left as well, so it might be really more like 14 or something. This does feel a little overcommitted mid, but for some reason that feels like the right place to overcommit. Maybe Rocket left and Bullseye mid is also fine. What? Excuse me? I don't know. Thanks, I guess. Just pass. I feel pretty good about, like, I am gonna include this game in the video despite the weird shady ending here, but because this really showcased the deck beautifully, right? Like, we had a 6-point lead right, 12-point lead mid, and 12-point lead left. I don't know any deck that's beating that, right? I just don't think it's possible for them to beat that. They do have a little extra energy technically, right? But that's so hard to beat. I think any one spot for sure, like right in particular, seems doable, but then how are you beating 12 and 12 elsewhere? I don't know if you can go 7 and 12 even. That's really hard too for a lot of decks to do, and without really a lot of strong setup either. I think they just missed their Wiccan and things went south. That was a great game for us though. Black Swan Warlock and Ascani is great. Ascani Titania is also cool. I will say, like, I guess you kind of waste the discount theoretically if Black Swan's hitting it anyway, but I don't mind. Just having some 0-7s is really strong. Early Rocket from the opponent. Is this a robot? Playing an early Rocket in late Chiguia? It must be, right? I don't see what else would be the explanation there. Hydra Bob can probably go out a little early, but no reason to do it now. That's a bad snap, says the opponent. I agree. I do see some bad snaps out there. Not that I'm the world's best snapper, but see a lot of late snaps in particular. It always bugs me when people late snap. I want you to get more cubes. I don't want to retreat. I want to play the game out. Snap early and get those cubes off me, boss. They're getting a She-Hulk. I'm getting a zombie giant man. Okay, Shadow King is very excited all of a sudden. I think we're waiting, but it is tough in this deck, I'm finding, when you don't have any of your cards that creates like early plays. Black Swan, Warlock in particular, you want to get out early, right? Zombie Horde is a guaranteed good Shadow King target, and we pretty much always lose priority in this deck, so I'm not worried about that. Black Vortex, huh? It's kind of cool. Maybe just throw the rocket in there. I mean, you're pretty sure you're going to be able to activate that rocket later, to be honest. I would love to catch their Kitty Pryde. They don't want to play it in Black Vortex, right? So I think it's going to go here. I mean, I don't know. If you think rocket's for sure bigger later, but I don't know, man. I just kind of want to wait. I don't want to wait. I want to learn, right? Like, let's just see what we get here. In case that's a destroyer, let's go Electra second, I think. Do we play the Bob? Do we wait on the Bob? Maybe we wait on the Bob. We don't have a Black Swan, so you don't want to wait too long on the Blob. But if I get Warlock, I mean, I guess if I get a Scani, I won't get a chance to play Bob until later, maybe. He might fit in later. It's fine. Destroyer? Please, God, be Kitty Pryde. Like, don't screw me here. Nice. Okay. Destroyer? Made me look so smart. Magneto's a pretty solid result. I'll take that. Kitty's gone. Warlock. No, we missed our Warlock window. Okay. Kind of think this is maybe an okay Lady Bullseye, by the way. Because I want to float on 5 for She-Hulk. I don't actually want to, and I'm not going to have enough to float on 6 because Shadow King I want to play. She-Hulk's going to cost 1, so that's already 4, right? Like, I think you're getting the same amount of Bullseye here, but you get more options later. Now, that said, I don't really care about hitting the Zombie Horde because I want to Shadow King that anyway, I think, but it's just kind of a net 4 here, right? It also technically could make their Zombie Giant Man smaller as well. Yeah, I think we're just totally passing here, but shame we don't have Sunspot, Black Swan, or Warlock loaded up early, man. Really tough when you miss your loads. Trying to load up this dump truck. I'm gonna stay away from these comments. So next turn is She-Hulk, Shadow King stuff. I don't know. Scani into Eliath. Okay, that's not too bad. We definitely dodged some, we netted some points there off Vortex, which is cool. So I think my question becomes, like, how many points do you need and where do you need them, you know? Like, does Shadow King solo, I guess? I almost have priority, by the way. I just realized, which is like crazy hard to do in this deck. I don't really trust Magneto mid, weirdly. So I'm putting the She-Hulk there, but I don't think it's totally insane to not do that, because you could also do just like Titania She-Hulk mid and like Hydra Bob left or whatever if you thought Bob needed some help. Magneto pulling cards mid currently doesn't do anything. There's no 4-drops, but it could theoretically help if they put something mid-sized to left. I'm gonna trust the Shadow King. I think this feels to me like they're saying, hey, you know, I know my hordes get pretty big. They don't have any power over there. They're trying to flip Magneto indeed. Yeah, this looks like it's gonna work out exactly perfectly. Yeah, this is great. Shadow King's perfect. Magneto goes mid. He doesn't pull anybody. There is a spot, but nobody to grab. And She-Hulk just covering here in case the Zombie Giant Man had gone mid, right? I think that was the fear. You kind of assume it's going to go right to flip that Magneto. But yeah, this is kind of bold. And it turns out She-Hulk left also would have been fine. But I think this covered more lines from the opponent, basically. Goodness, Parker Industries, yes. Warlock, early, I love it. Okay. Scani Titania, yeah. It could get a little harrowing, I guess, with, like, stuff, but, I think it's okay. Sunspot, Sakaar Grand P, I don't hate. I think I just said Sakaar Grand P. That's not what it's called. That's what it, that. No, I'm not. Nah. I'm teed up teed up a joke or two there. I'm gonna leave those sitting. Get myself in trouble today too much. That one wasn't too bad though. Nightcrawler's a great target for Electra potentially. Not a great target, but a target. Let's say a good solid target. A great target would be Sunspot, right? Opponent's snapping already. They must have some confidence around White Hot Room, which hilariously I could fill basically at any given time, but it's just not the right idea for our deck or game plan here. Storm instead, baby, was the reason for the reason there. You can go with Scotty Grandmaster too, which is kind of nuts. Do I want to do that? Because if I don't want to do that, I should definitely play this here. I mean, with my hand right now, the extra energy really don't seem that relevant. I don't know. I don't think the opponent's going for it either, so yeah. All right, is this Brood? No, it's Captain Carter. Okay, so that actually would make a Shadow King pretty legit. I think you go Grandmaster Warlock here, right? You get another insane Titania. The problem is I might end up with priority, although not if they support this Captain Carter at all, right? Do you go for the +3? I just don't need it. I don't want the opponent to have it either, so hopefully they don't get it. They might, though. I think there's a reasonable chance they do. I mean, they get it anyway, though, I guess. I wouldn't be able to stop them, so yeah. I just don't value it enough, I think. So triple Titania, I almost certainly lose priority here, right? From tiebreakers, like they just have a million. Yeah, they have 1,000,000 points. Yeah. Good God, dude. Like this Lady Bullseye, man, is it ever doing enough to make right in range? You know what I mean? The problem is like, do they have Surfer? If they have Surfer, I think you're so screwed, probably. We've also got this, like, Titania problem, where it's like, dude, I can go +18, that's 25. Like, Lady Bullseye could steal a ton of points, but Surfer just sends them right back. That's the thing I hate, is Surfer just sends them right back. It's like, I actually really want to go for it, though. Dang it, dude, I really want to go for it. Is it wrong of me to want to go for it, man? This is worth 3 points on board, but it's worth, well, yeah, probably always worth more because Sunspot gains 2 and this gains 4. So yeah, dude, I want to go for it. Safe money might just be playing these Titanias mid or whatever, but I have a feeling they're gonna Brood me or something. I mean, is Brood even that good though? I'm gonna go for it, dude. I think we could maybe win right. It depends on Surfer or not. It is Brood, but Brood's not that big. Brood Grandmaster's kind of sick though, dude. I think this means we might be fine left, but are we gonna be fine right? I don't know. I think we're fine. Are we fine mid? I didn't help mid at all, man. Well, no, Sunspot helps mid. Mid's fine. We're at 18 mid. Going right was so irresponsible, dude. Why did I do that? We're gonna win anyway, but it's so irresponsible. There was no reason to do that. I should have just gone mid with at least one Titania. The second Titania is like kind of a risk, right? Because you send it over. That was one reason dumping them right was like kind of spicy. If they didn't have the Surfer though, I think indeed this held. It's just like so risky to do that. We also missed the Carter, which is insane. They had so many bodies out of nowhere. The extra energy from White Hot Room really did help them here. I cannot believe we beat them, by the way, with White Hot Room like this, and they basically had a spot where I wasted 18 points. The smart money here was 9 power Titania, 9 power Titania, 9 power Titania. It would have been pretty risky to play 2 Titanias in any given spot just because, you know, that you don't know if they're going to fill it out. You could also arguably maybe have done like Titania Dude Titania. I get that math is always weird too, though. That breaks my brain. Great win though, honestly. Yeah, like we kind of took a fun risky line just to see if we could do it, and it still worked out fine. We wasted 18 points or arguably 11 points and still won. Sunspot early. Yeah, great. Let's park him left. No Shadow King threat. Also no Shadow King threat for us left, but you know, we'll figure it out. Quinjet deck. We just played one yesterday. Could be that for sure. Ah, it is. Yeah. Okay. Loki. I mean, they're gonna have some really cheap cards. You know, they don't even need a Black Swan here. It's all just gonna be little 1-drops. I do kind of wonder though, because of that, if they get in a weird spot where they just don't get enough value here, like you just keep drawing 1-drops or whatever, it might be hard to piece together a good actual little deck, you know. Or you just play the She-Hulk already. Good God, dude. That's scary. Warlock is pretty great news again, yeah. I like that I'm still losing priority here often and setting up well. Sunspot gives you enough confidence to go like, hey, I can still win left, even if I'm kind of full on stuff. Just maybe throw a Hydra Bob there or whatever. There's the Crystal indeed. Yeah, deck we played yesterday. Ascani Bullseye is wicked cool, actually. Oh, but She-Hulk makes me not want to do it because I think you're better off with She-Hulk, right? If you go Ascani, you still can dump these two for free next turn. Your Bullseyes go to 1-1. So you could go 1-1-0-0. Boy, that is really nice. It's a lot of points. You'd float 4. You'd play 2 1-4s. So floating 4 is kind of -8, -8. That's 16. 4 and 4 is 8, is 24. 28 and 5 is 33 points. Maybe more via Electra or Titania. That's got to be more than just Sunspot She-Hulk shenanigans, right? I think this is the right move. Warlock could make your life even better sometimes too. I think this is the move, weirdly, despite having Sunspot Warlock in play. Yeah, I'm gonna try it, see how it feels. I don't know. Gambit is very scary against Sunspot for sure. Their Sunspot gets hit by Techno. Shadow King seems irrelevant, right? So we're looking for another 1-drop here, maybe? Grand Master as well, man. Is the Grand Master worth it? You get one more Bullseye loot, but you lose, but it's only a 2, you know what I mean? Like you kind of lose. Does this win, guys? They have 3 cards in hand. One's a Techno-Organic Virus, so they play 2 in Techno, maybe. So you're gonna get -6 mid, but they're also gaining 3, so it's 17. We go to 9. This is 10. -6. I think you need a card here. I don't know if you win right like this. It really depends on how the Bullseyes roll. I'm not getting that many hits on Bullseye. I did correctly identify the play here. I just don't know if you have enough points. Techno is so big. It feels like you don't have enough points here because I had to get a lot of points both mid. I don't need anything left here from Bullseyes. That's a good start. Holy crap. Don't go left. Don't go left. Don't go left. Oh, too many left that time around. Actually, though, I think we did it perfectly. Wow. Wow. Just like you can't really take credit for that because you just don't know how the Bullseyes are gonna roll, but like hitting the rocket was definitely key. We identified that correctly, and then just kind of hoping that the power distributions were about right, and they were about right because mid was a little stronger, so we went a little stronger mid. Right was a little weaker. Caught some good lady Bullseyes too. -8 here made a -10 here made a huge difference. So yeah, you can't really say you knew what was going to happen there. It's just, you know, we wasted 6 points over here. Although honestly, you got so close over here, you almost could have won with like a Bob too, you know. I like the Ascani Bullseye line though, by the way. I think that was a cool little spin we took there. I think that worked out great. Haven't done that yet and it was pretty cool.